Annyeonghaseyo, what's up everybody? It's Alex Sigrist, and I'm back for another Alex Uncut.
Let's put our living stereotypes.
He's telling Wallace for a reason.
This is not Every week we look at a question from the previous Alex Uncut's comment section and try to dissect it and figure out what I think about it, and I try to give you the best knowledge I have from it. Every week, please leave a question down below. For today's video, ask me a question that I'll answer next week, and I'll be back again at 9 p.m. Korea time to kind of break it down. And yes, I'm back in front of the colorful screens because it's fall. Look at these colors. They're looking nice, right? They're looking like I'm ready for September. Are you ready? I'm ready. We're ready for this, aren't we? So we have a question from last week that we are going to get into. Bad habit that I have is flipping my phone. Speaking of habits, the question is from Peaceful Minji. Lately, I have been working to develop some really healthy and efficient routines. How long does it take for you to adopt a habit? That is a fantastic question. However, we are going to have to expand it just a little bit because I'll tell you my answer. The answer is a long time. But let's talk about how to get from starting that habit to actually making that a part of your life. Let's talk about habits. Now, here's the thought experiment. I want you to actually do this with me. Ready? Think of the last habit that you started and stuck with. It can be easy, it can be difficult. New job, you wake up at 7 a.m. every day. Maybe you began flossing your teeth. Maybe you started going to the gym. Whatever it is, you got 5 seconds. Think about it. What habit have you recently developed? Cool. For me, it actually was flossing because I got rid of my permanent retainer and got some nighttime retainers, and I started realizing I should floss my teeth before I put them. Long story short, I started flossing, and now that's something I do. Pretty cool. Now, let's think about a habit that you wish you would start or you want to get into right now. Is it going to the gym every day, running, reading a book, being a writer? What is that habit you want to do? Ready? 5 seconds, go. All right, you got it? Because I got mine. And I'll tell you what it is. Actually, I have a ton of habits I want to start, but I picked an easier one today. For me, I want to start reading every day. Why? Because the person I want to tell people I am, someone who reads a lot of books and is very intellectual, is not who I currently am. Not at all. Not even close. Now, I like to say that I watch a lot of YouTube videos on certain topics and gain knowledge that way, but let's be honest, sitting down and reading a book, maybe paperback even, is probably a pretty good way to increase your intellectual appetite, your imagination, all that stuff. So how do we go from starting to finish? The first thing I'll do is directly answer the question, which a lot of people know. Come on, guys. It's 40 days, right? 40 days to successfully create a habit. That is a beautiful random number that someone came up with. Yes, there are some studies kind of back there, but I've gone alcohol-free for 45 days, but I didn't stick with it after that. I mean, it was a habit, but I drink alcohol now. See? It works sometimes, it doesn't work other times. How do you go from starting a habit to finishing it? So I was watching a YouTube video. Again, I know I'm embarrassed, but it was one about James Clear. Now, I should have been reading his book, which was called Atomic Habits. It's called, How Tiny Changes Create Remarkable Results. And now that I think about it, I should probably read that book. But I was actually listening, and I was like, this is pretty cool information. And one of the lines that really stuck out to me was this one. Roughly paraphrased, because again, I'm uncut and kind of going off script. Don't try to run a marathon, try to be a runner. Don't try to write a book, try to be a writer. And that's the one thing that really twisted my mind around this. After I got the question, I searched online. I was like, I'm going to find something probably, set goals, do this, 40 days, yada, yada. Until I hit this one, I think I was probably on the wrong track. So looking at the running one, that's a pretty simple one, right? People want to run a marathon or a half marathon or a 10K, whatever it may be. And they think, once I get that goal, I will become a runner. But what does it really take to become a runner? Is it finishing a half marathon? Because a lot of people finish half marathons and don't even train for it. They just kill themselves that day, and then they're back to not being a runner the day after that. Is it doing a half marathon? No. I don't think so. What is a action that you can do that can make you become a runner? And when I changed my mindset into this, where it's, I want to be a runner. I want to be someone who reads books. I want to be someone who goes to the gym. The answer was actually really simple. All you have to do is run 4 or 5 times a week. But that's hard, Alex. No, not really. Even if you just run for 1 kilometer, half kilometer, 4 times a week, guess what? If you've done that for 40 days or a month or whatever it is you're going for, you can start to say you are a runner. And when you start to say, I am a runner, what that does is it makes us change on the inside. It allows us to identify ourselves as a runner. Now, let that sink in. Go back to that habit that you wanted to pick up. Was it reading a book? Was it flossing? Was it, running, going to the gym? Was it studying Korean language? What could it be? All right. Now, what does it take to become that person? Not to achieve the goal. Don't say fluent in Korean. Be someone who is studying Korean. Don't be a marathoner. Be a runner. What's it take to be in that position? For a writer, it might honestly be just writing down stuff 5 minutes a day, doing a blog that nobody reads. Who cares if everyone's like, well, you don't really have any fans. Who cares if you write every day? In my book, you are a writer, right? So let's get into it. How do you actually make sure that you run 4 times a week, that you write every day? The hardest thing to do with any habit, with any difficult task is, you know what it is, start. Just going out there and boom, being like, hey, I'm going to be a writer. No, just kidding. That's the easy part. The starting part is picking up the pen, picking up your book, and begin. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know if that picked up or not. For me, it's running. So I'll talk about my running. When I think about running, I'm like, oh gosh, I don't want to do it. The moment I step outside my door, I could go for 8, 10, 12, 15 kilometers. And, well, not always 15, that's a lot. But I can go for a pretty long time. But it's the hardest part, the stepping out the door. That's what always slows me down. So the focus on creating a new habit should be, when it comes to doing the action, just getting out the door. Maybe it's subconsciously, like in my opinion, I just hate everything. If I tie my running shoes on, I know I'm going out the door, so I tie my running shoes on. If you open up your book to start reading, maybe that's it. You just need those first 30 seconds of reading, and then you can read a chapter or 2 chapters or 3 chapters. So let's wrap it all up. How do you set these healthy habits? How do you become a YouTuber who comes in the studio every Tuesday to make a Wednesday video, which I stopped doing because I was on vacation and stuff, but besides that, how do you do that? Very simple. All you do is, number 1, figure out what you want to become. Not what you want to accomplish. What do you want to become? I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be someone who reads books. I want to be a runner. And then figure out the way to make sure you take that first step every time you're supposed to. 4 days a week, 5 days a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, whatever it may be. Maybe it means going to the cafe. Maybe it means putting your running shoes on. And then, when do you stop? The truth is, in my experience, you don't stop until you look back one day and realize, I guess I am good at Korean. I guess I am a runner. Don't look for a date. Wait until, without even thinking about it, you realize, dang, I'm a YouTuber. That's pretty wild. There you go. Everyone out there, you better be going out there and starting that habit, whatever it may be, right now. And to prove that I'm not just blowing smoke in the air, I don't know what the right phrase is prove that I'm doing that, I actually will show you. I have just purchased the book right before this. In fact, I purchased the very book that I saw the YouTube video on, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I'm going to read it. So here's the picture of it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to go for 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes every single day. Doesn't matter where I do it, whether it's on the subway, in my bed, and on a couch. I don't care. 15 minutes every day. The book should come in probably tomorrow, Thursday. So hopefully I'll get that there. I'll post a picture of it on my social media. It's Alex Sigrist, at It's Alex Sigrist on Instagram. I'll post it on my Instagram story and be like, hey, I started. And then I'll go with it. So make sure to hold yourselves accountable. Go ahead and write down what your goal is down below, what you're gonna do to achieve your goal. Write it down, write it all out. And if you write it all out in the comment section and then copy paste it, put it on your computer, and then don't hit the send button on the comments section, just don't worry about it. Write it down, get it out there, and try it. And of course, don't forget, leave a question for next week, because I need some more juicy questions to give you some juicy answers and really have some fun at this, because I love doing it. I hope you enjoy watching it. This is my joy. This is my hobby. This is something that I've become. I am a YouTuber. This is Alex Uncut, as real as it gets. Don't forget, everyone, be good, do good, and feel good. And as always, repeat. See you next time.